Well, hello and welcome to Instinct Cooking, or My Cooking Stinks. So today we're going to make baked macaroni and cheese. I've tried it a million trillion times. I'm just going with my instinct this time. We have a nice big pot because I am going to cook these. It's 8 ounces. I have 2 boxes of these. This is quinoa and corn flour, and normally I would say no. But it is non-GMO and organic. So it's not sprayed with bug spray, and it's not chemically changed with bacteria purposely placed in it. So I've never used this in my life, but we're going to try it because my daughters are very sensitive to a lot of things. So we're going to give it a shot today, and I'm going to use sharp cheddar. I'm going to use Colby Jack. I'm going to use cheddar. And then we're going to make some Calabasa to go with it and some coleslaw. And then we'll be done. Okay, so we're waiting for that to cook. While we're waiting for that to cook, I'm going to take some almond milk. I was going to use my half and half for the girls, but I thought they might be sensitive too. Now I really don't know how much all of this is going to look like at the end of all the cooking. So I'm going to make a lot of this because a lot of times when you make your mac and cheese, I am not kidding, it absorbs it all. So instinctively, I'm just going with my feelings. I'm not talking about how much I put in there. Alright, so we're going to let both of these come to a boil. I put salt in there. I put about 1/4 of a capful of this in there. All right, it's doing good. So now we're getting ready for that, and we're getting ready for this. All right, the water's boiling. I just want to show you what this looks like. It's really yellow because it's corn. All right, it's going in. Add pasta to 4 quarts of boiling water and stir frequently. Cook uncovered for 6 to 9 minutes. Alright, so it says of boiling water. So see how it's not boiling anymore? Just a little bit. We want to get it more so. So now drain and empty. Optional. Add 2 tablespoons of oil to water. Water will turn yellow from the corn. This is normal. Do not overcook. So once I get this to a boil, I'm going to time it because I agree with these types of pastas. You have to get it right. So what did it say? 6 to 9? Yeah. So I'll do 8 just to be sure. So there's the boiling. Okie dokie. So today we're going to put this in the oven. We're going to bake this thing in the end, and we're going to, I think I should stir this for sure. We're going to bake it with breadcrumb, but we're going to use sprouted grains. That means that the bread is alive. The wheat is alive. From my research, if you don't eat sprouted grains, you are eating, when they say whole wheat, you're eating dead whole wheat. Okay? So, now, I had a feeling, right? I followed my instincts to stir this baby. Just go with it. God gave us a conscience to know right from wrong. That's what I'm doing here. So I want you to trust that when you think, how many times, I don't know about you, but how many times, we're waiting for this to boil, how many times, to cook, how many times have you as a parent, if you're a parent, or maybe you watch children for a living, have you thought to yourself, they're going to get hurt, or they're going to break that, okay? It never fails. You gotta pay heed to that, and you gotta do something about it, okay? All right, let's check it out. We only have 4 minutes to go. What I did was I had this higher, I put it on low, because I don't think it's a good idea to boil this. It's not necessary. So I'm going to put my cheeses in there. How do I know how much? I don't. So instinctively, I am going to add just a little bit of each at first. Stir it around, let it melt, see how it goes. If I want more, hey, you can add more. Let's give this another stir. This is about the third time I've stirred it. It doesn't seem to get stuck to each other. The first time it did. All right, looks good. We have 2 minutes and 42 seconds. All right, here goes. This is my sharp cheddar. I don't want to be overwhelming right now because I do have other cheeses to go. Okay, of the sliced Colby Jack, my instincts say to put 2 for now. All right, the cheddar cheese. This was very difficult to open. They make it so King Kong can't even open it. All right, instinctively, going by how I feel. All right, what I thought about was, see how there's milk around the cheese? That tells me that it gives me a little, it gives me a little leeway to make sure that it's liquidy and not too cheesy. All right, and part of this show is about cleaning as we go. Okay, we got 42 seconds. I don't eat greens, but it looks like I'm gonna have to maybe take 1 piece of this. And I don't eat greens because ever since I stopped eating it, I can breathe. Too hard. All right, it's saying it's end. I'm going to do 1 more minute because it said do not overcook, okay? All right, it's really going to town. That feels like it needs to go longer than 1 minute, though. It really didn't seem like it was soft enough. But you know what? I can tell you this right now. We're going to put this in the oven, so let's keep that in our mind. See that? That was an instinct. All right, let's measure, let's stir this. Let's hope all goes well. I think I could put grated cheese in there too, and maybe some mustard, because oftentimes I read that you should put mustard inside of these types of recipes. Always pour away. My stepmother told me to do that as a young child, and I didn't listen, and I poured it towards myself, and I got burnt. It doesn't say to drain or to rinse it, so I'm not going to. Clean as you go. Okay, I'm not going to add butter to this because maybe later, maybe towards the end. I don't want to put too much cow ingredients. I know for me, and a lot of people seem to be allergic to the casing, which is protein in the cheese. When I was following a ketogenic diet last year, I only had problems with certain cheeses. I did very well with grass-fed, and see, that's way too not cheesy enough. So we're going to add more, but it's not melted all the way. See that? So when I tried to drink heavy cream, it wasn't agreeing with me. I could always start to feel stuffy in my nose, and it just doesn't stop there. It goes throughout your body. So for me, it affects my lungs and possibly my joints. Okay, so I know that that is the cause for arthritis and bursitis and rheumatoid arthritis. So if you have problems like that, you can lay off the dairy, and perhaps you'll be blessed. All right, my instincts tell me to add a little drizzle of olive oil. I have my extra virgin olive oil in there, just so it doesn't get all stuck. Okay. Now my knowledge, because I know, says don't stir macaroni like this because it'll break. So you're basically folding it, they call it. Okay, see how I'm folding it? I'm not mixing. It's very delicate. You can tell that some are wanting to break like that. See that? We don't want that. That's damaged goods. The Dijon mustard. I'm going to squirt probably a tablespoonish, my instincts tell me. And I'm going to add more cheese. I'm going to go through the whole motion again. And I did not yet put grated cheese. I'm using the Parmesan. Okay, that could be pretty delicious in there. And the sharp cheddar. And another slice maybe? We'll do one. One slice of the Colby Jack. And we're going to let that melt before I start stirring, because my instinct tells me it'll get all goopy gloppy, so let's let it melt first. While I'm waiting for this to melt, I'm going to drizzle some more olive oil on the bottom. Why? Because maybe it'll give it a good flavor and it won't stick while it's in the oven. Also, I'm going to preheat the oven for 350. That is the basics of cooking right there. And we're going to get back. I'm going to try to fold this liquid onto the cheese instead of just stirring it right away. Get it in there. So it still looks like it could use more cheese. Now, it's true that I don't want it so thick because this is going to absorb a lot of it. So this doesn't get stuck together. No. See, I was going to say, let's put this in here, but my instinct said, no, I'm going to pour this in there and fold it all in. It'd be easier. All right, how is this looking? Now, I am going to add a little bit of pepper. I just hope this doesn't upset anyone's bellies because I know that pepper can be the culprit. You wouldn't think of it. So just a little bit. I'm very heavy-handed with pepper normally. Okay. I'm going to add just a little bit of salt, because the cheese already has that in there. Now, I'm going to put my nose over to smell it, to see if I can smell. Can you see to smell? I'm going to see if I can smell the Dijon mustard. If I can't, I'm going to add more. I think it could use more, so I'm going to. Maybe another tablespoon or so. Now, I also have mustard that you can put in, but I'm not going to do that. But I will put in a little garlic and a little onion powder. I only use measuring spoons if I am following a recipe. So I usually use these covers. It's a small cover. And I go by how I think I want, however much my children can tolerate. All right, here goes my garlic. I did put just a tiny bit, but I'm gonna put a little less because I'm not really sure if you're supposed to be putting garlic into this kind of dish and would it taste good. So I just used a tiny sprinkle of it, really. All right, so while I'm still waiting for this, I am going to clean as I go. I did add a little bit more onion powder in hopes that would give it an extra kick. My instinct tells me to put just a tiny bit of this into it and let it sit. Okay, I do like adding the little bit of the bay leaf in there. You don't have to keep it in there, obviously. Okay, so now I'm going in. We don't mind it really creamy because who doesn't like creamy mac and cheese? Plus, it will evaporate in the oven. Now we're going to fold it in. Remember, we don't want to stir. Folding it. I'll take out this bay leaf. And then we'll discard that. And we're going to just fold. Fold. Alright. And now I'm going to put it into this pan. I wonder if I should layer it with breadcrumbs. Should I have done that? I can mix the breadcrumbs all the way through, right? Do you like that, or just like it on top? Do you know what I mean? I could put it on top, or just mix it in. Should I fold some in and on top? Alright, we're gonna do that. Because instinct tells us, no? It'll go all gooey and horrible. Alright, so we're just gonna lay it on top, I guess. So now I'm taking my sprouted grain breadcrumb that I put together, and you just dry it out, blend it up, and then you got it. And you just throw as much as you like on. Maybe you could put a little butter on top, and then we'll put it in the oven. So I put tiny little pieces of butter all over it, and I'm going to take onion flakes, minced onion, and I'm going to just sprinkle a little bit on it. Not too much, just a little taste, because it'll be nice and toasty. And now we're going to stick it in the oven just like that. And what we're looking for is for the butter to melt, of course. Everything's done. Just going to wait now for the crust to get golden. Okay, do your thing. I expect perfection. So it's 1:45. We're just keeping an eye on it, just so I know for the future how long I kept it. Okay, so now I'm making the Calabasa. This is turkey, okay? Only to save a pig. I know, I hated to not save a turkey. So I put some water in the pan. That's what the directions say to do. And today I'm going to take a little bit of, I really want to use this pesto in something. So I'm going to use just a little bit in the water. I've never done this before in my life, but my instincts tell me that it's going to be wonderful, wonderful. And it'll give a beautiful aroma around. So it's kind of like Polish and Italians meet. Open up your kielbasa, and there it is. Okay, so because these birds had to die for people, I'm going to put holy water on it and bless it. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Ghost. And the reason why I do that is so that, in hopes that they did not suffer a painful death. So now I'm going to put a cover on it. So I turned the heat to about 5-ish, and we're going to let that sit, I don't know, maybe about 10 minutes or so. And then I'll come and I'll cut it all up into little pieces, and then we're done. Okay, so now we're going to open up this bag and put it into this bowl. Looks beautiful, beautiful. Now I'm going to take mayonnaise. You can use store-bought or your own. This is my own. And we're going to put it inside, and I'm also going to put some black olives in there because I know the people that enjoy this enjoy black olives. I highly recommend making your own mayonnaise. This is avocado oil, eggs, Dijon mustard, and salt. And look at that. Beautiful. So we're going to just put it in, mix it up, and give it a taste. Okay? And now this you can mix. You don't need to fold. And I'll also add some vinegar as well. I already have vinegar in my cleaning product. Vinegar and water, so we're just spraying that in. And continue to mix with our lovely music in the background. A little shake of salt. And, of course, some pepper. Minced onion. These go into a lot of good recipes. You can put celery in here if you like. It's up to you. You can put cucumbers in here if you like. I did add a little bit more mayo and a little bit more vinegar and water together. And you can also add a salad dressing if you like. Oftentimes I do that. Maybe ranch. Try to get the healthy ones that have the non-GMO soy in it. Because everything has soy in it, practically. All right, now we're going to give it a taste test. You could put pickles in here. You could put pickle juice. Can't get it on there. Definitely. But I'm going to put a little twist. I'm going to put that pesto in there. But I'm going to try it on mine first. I could add more mayo. Because I choose to make my own, It's very precious. I can't just hop out of the store. I have to make it. It's very simple, but it's another thing you have to do. So I am going to save that for the tuna fish and just see if I can add, let's see, I put the pesto in there. Mind blowing. You ready for this one? If you like, oh my gosh, if you like, this says, I never saw this brand, I just picked it up at Market Basket, maybe your grocery store. Priamo, you say your I's like E's. Priano, oh, Priano. Pesto sauce, basil and Italian cheese. Okay, I am putting this in there for sure. This was and is the magical ingredient. So, okay, so the tip of my knife, whoops, is going in. We're gonna mix all that up. All right, so we're mixing and mixing. You could put Dijon mustard in here. You could put anything you think. Sometimes you think to yourself, oh, that would taste so good. And you're like, no, what am I thinking? That wouldn't go, but you know you would like it. Do it. Trust yourself. The craziest things go together. It's crazy. All right. Now I'm going to taste it again. Pour me. And this is good for your liver. Okay, this is cruciferous food. The purple and green cabbage, and if you threw celery in there, wow, you have triple cruciferous foods in there, cleaning out the toxins and fat from your liver. Okay, right, we're gonna top this baby off, even though we already did, with that beautiful, beautiful pesto with some olives. You could throw palamati, is that how you say it? Olives in there. Might as well go the whole thing. You could put green peppers, you know, the marinated ones. Oh my gosh, the Italian ones. This is just insane. All right, so I'm going to cut this up into small bite-sized pieces. To do that, I'm using a fork and scissors. All right, we are going to drain some of this water out anyway. All right, we're going to turn up the heat. We don't want to burn it. What good would that do? I now put the macaroni and cheese on broil. Let's see how it's doing. It's looking great. And I'm going to leave this door open just a little bit so it doesn't totally burn it. And now we're going to let that sit. Maybe I can even throw some. My instincts tell me to throw a little bit of olive oil on it. That way we can toast it up. Okay. So here's the mac and cheese. That was about 30 minutes in the oven on 350. We got our calabasa, okay? And we have our beautiful pesto and black olive coleslaw. Test, is it kid approved? On a scale from 1 to 10?
4.
A 4?
It's good.
Are you kidding? Huh? If it was a 4, he would not be eating it right now. He doesn't eat 4s. He only eats 10s. What would you really give it?
Like 6. 8.5.
8.5? What would make it a 10?
If it wasn't so like...
Want more pepper?
It's too mushy.
Mushy?
In some parts of it's too hard.
What? So some parts are mushy and some are hard. Do you agree with him?
Yeah.
You do.
But
What is hard? The macaroni?
Yeah, forever.
You could eat it forever. That's a good sign. Did you hear that, ladies and gentlemen? They could eat it forever. So not bad with what we used, right? So kid approved, everyone? Oh, they're.
I'll make more.
Would you eat more? All right. So my son would not eat more.
Yeah.
Oh boy, with force.
Yeah.
And this is my other child going in.
Calabasa.
Going in for the kill. Okay, so we have a child that wants to go in for the kill with the kielbasa.
Calabasa.
The kielbasa kill. All right. All right. I'm loving it. Look at that. You go. Woohoo. So to prepare all of these, it took about an hour. For 3 different things, we're good to go. So thank you for joining us. Remember that God is good all the time. And remember, instinct cooking or my cooking stinks. So I was trying to understand why my son said that it tasted hard. And it only made sense that it was because of the oven. So what my instincts seem to say is to take those breadcrumbs with butter, and instead of sprinkling it all on top beforehand, you probably already know this because you could do it either way, and you cook it on very low. You don't want to burn it at all. It'll taste terrible. So do it very low and not very long on top of the stove, and then sprinkle it all over the mac and cheese. That way you don't have to put it in the oven, and it won't dry it out that way. It'll be all super creamy. Okay, bye.